So today we are going to be reading a story about the math curse. Again, it is another one of my favorite books, and it's going to lead us into a fun math lesson. So I will share my screen, and Ryder, if you can put your video on, that would be awesome. I'd love to see your face. Hi, Ryder. Good to see you today. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to share this story with you. This book is by John Ciesielska and Lane Smith, a very difficult name to pronounce, that's for sure. And I try to turn my lights off, so maybe it will help for you to see. So this is titled The Math Curse. There we go. And I bet you're wondering how old this book is. Again, I know I've been reading it for a few years. It's going to be pretty old. Let's see if we can find, I'm going to the back of the book to look for the publishing date. I don't see it there, so I will go in the front of the book because it can be either. This time it's in the front of the book, and it was published, the first time it was published was in 1995. Oh, this one's an easy one. 1995. In the chat box, tell us how old this book is. 1995. If it's the year 2020 and it's 1995, how old is this book? Sunny is coming to join us.
I got her.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Lila's got it. Gavin, Jensen, Haley. Oh my goodness. Looking good. I've got some guesses that might be off a little. So let's see. I'm going to have Jensen, do you mind unmuting and telling us how old this book is, and how do you know? Can you prove your answer?
So I know that it's 25 because you can just take 20 away from 2020, and then just minus 5 equals 25.
The 5 from 1995, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. There's your 5 that Jensen's talking about. And it's the year 2020. 20 plus 5 is 25. Great job, mathematicians.
Awesome.
All right. So this book is called The Math Curse. Enjoy. On Monday in math class, Mrs. Fibonacci says, you know, you can think of almost everything as a math problem. On Tuesday, I start having problems. I wake up at 7:15. I love how his body is part of the clock. It takes me 10 minutes to get dressed, 15 minutes to eat my breakfast, and 1 minute to brush my teeth. Suddenly, it's a problem. If my bus leaves at 8 o'clock, will I make it on time? How many minutes in 1 hour? How many teeth in one mouth? So I bet some of you are trying to figure out the answers to these problems. So thinking about that, if he gets up at 7:15 and it takes 10 minutes to get dressed, if it's 7:15, 10 more minutes would make it 7, say it with me, 25, right? And if it's 7:25 and it's 15 minutes to eat breakfast, 7:35, 7:40. And 1 minute to brush his teeth, he should probably brush longer. That'd be 7:41. And if his bus leaves at 8 o'clock, will he make it on time? Give me a thumbs up if he will. Give me a thumbs down if he won't. I should see thumbs up because 7:41 is before 8 o'clock.
Good job.
And if you know how many minutes are in an hour, give me a double thumbs up. Write it in the chat if you can tell me how many minutes are in an hour. Check out the chat. Looks like
I
someone
see lots of right answers.
Excellent. If you said 60, give yourself a pat on the back. You got it. 60 minutes in an hour. How many teeth in the mouth? I'm not sure. I shouldn't even guess. I'd have to put my fingers in my mouth to count. I don't think I should do that. We'll have to Google it later. I look in my closet and the problems get worse. I have 1 white shirt, 3 blue shirts, 3 striped shirts, and that 1 ugly plaid shirt my Uncle Zeno sent me. How many shirts is that all together? Well, let's count. 1 white, right? 1 white, 3 blue, we're up to 4, 3 striped, 4 plus 3 is 7, and 1 more for the plaid. 7 plus 1 is, should have said 8. How many shirts would I have if I threw away that awful plaid shirt? Show me on your fingers. He has 8 shirts and he throws one away because he doesn't like it. Show me on your
All
fingers.
right, good job, Charlie.
Isabella's right.
Absolutely.
7.
Nice job.
Excellent. Okay, when will Uncle Zeno quit sending me such ugly shirts? I can't answer that question. I'm getting a little worried. Everything seems to be a problem. Remember, the title of the book is Math Curse. So here's a picture of milk. Let's see why. Why do we have a picture of the milk? I take the milk out from my cereal and wonder, how many quarts in a gallon? How many pints in a quart? How many inches in a foot? How many feet in a yard? How many yards in a neighborhood? How many inches in a pint? How many feet in my shoes? I don't even bother to take out the cereal. I don't want to know how many flakes in a bowl. Mrs. Fibonacci has obviously put a math curse on me. Everything I look at or think about has become a math problem. I have to tell you, I do this. Even when I'm hiking, I count my steps sometimes. It's a bit of a problem. I think I have the math curse. I try to get on the bus without thinking about anything. But there are 5 kids already on the bus. 5 kids get on at my stop. 5 more get on at the next stop. And 5 more get on at the last stop. Oh my gosh, if you did all that math, let's see, counting by 5s. This is something we do a lot of in 3rd grade. Let's do it. It's multiplication, really. Okay, so we have 5 kids on the bus. That's one group of 5. They're already there. Another 5 get on at the stop. 5 more get on at the next stop, and 5 more on the last stop. 4 groups of 5. If you think you know the answer to that, write it in the box, the chat box. 5.
Oh, wow, we have a lot of, Ellie's got it, and Abby's got it, and Ryder. Woo.
So you guys are doing multiplication already. Woohoo! So let's count by 5s 4 times. Let's do it together. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20, you should have gotten, and you did. True or false? What is the bus driver's name? That doesn't make sense. Silly author here. All right, Mrs. Fibonacci has this chart of what month everyone's birthday is in. I have that too. So does Mrs. Harrison. Which month has the most birthdays? Which month has the fewest? Why doesn't February have a W? Good question. Don't you think this chart looks sort of like a row of buildings? Did you ever look at clouds and think they look like something else? I do that a lot. What does this ink blot look like to you? So it looks like he's getting off track of his math a little and just asking some fun questions, which goes with our questioning activity this morning. The whole morning is one problem after another. There are 24 kids in my class. I just know someone is going to bring in cupcakes to share. Remember when we used to do that? That was fun. We sit in 4 rows with 6 desks in each row. What if Mrs. Fibonacci rearranges the desks to make 6 rows? 8 rows, 3 rows, 2 rows. I count the 24 kids in our class again, this time by 2s. So let's do that. Let's count by 2s to 24. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. We got 12 2s in 24. That's division. Or you could look at it as multiplication, which you'll be doing a lot of in 3rd grade. Jake scratches his paper with 1 finger. How many fingers are in our class? Casey pulls Eric's ear. How many ears are in our class? The new girl, Kelly, sticks her tongue out at me. How many tongues are in our class? So if we have, let's see, 41 3rd graders. Go ahead and answer the question. If we have 41 3rd graders, how many eyes would that be for just the students, not Mrs. Harrison and Mrs. Oven? If there's 41 and they each have 2 eyes. Noah's got it. Logan's got it. Paxton's got it.
2 times 41.
Excellent. 2 times 41, or could you have done 41 plus 41 and gotten 82? Good job, kids, in the chat box. You've got it. I'm about to really lose it when the lunch bell rings. Here's all these things that are going through his mind because he has the math curse. Unfortunately for me, lunch is pizza and apple pie. Each pizza is cut into 8 equal slices. Each pie is cut into 6 equal slices. And you know what that means, fractions. If I want 2 slices of pizza, now remember there's a total of 8, should I ask for 1/8 or 2/8? Or 2 slices of pizza? If you think 1/8, give me a thumbs up. If you think 2/8, give me a thumbs up. If you think 2 slices of pizza, give me a thumbs up. You could ask for 2 slices of pizza, or if you're thinking fractions, if there's 8 total pieces, it would be 2 out of those total, 2/8. What is another way to say 1/2 of an apple pie? 2/6, 3/6, la moitié d'una tarte aux pommes. I think we're gonna go with, let's see, there's 6 total, 1/2 of 6. Show me on your fingers, what is 1/2 of 6? Or think of your double stacks. What plus what equals 6? You said 3, you got it. 3/6 would be another way to say 1/2 of an apple pie. Which tastes greater? 1/2 a pizza, 1/2 an apple pie? That's up to you. We haven't studied fractions yet, so I take 12 carrot sticks, 3 at a time, and eat them 2 at a time. In the afternoon, every subject is a problem. Social studies is a geography problem. The Mississippi River is about 4,000 kilometers long. And M&M is about 1 centimeter long. There are 100 centimeters in a meter and 1,000 meters in a kilometer. Estimate how many M&Ms it would take to measure the length of the Mississippi River. Oh my, that would take a while. Estimate how many M&Ms you would eat if you had to measure the Mississippi River with M&Ms. I would eat a lot of M&Ms. Here's a bonus. Can you spell Mississippi without any M&Ms? Let's try it. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. I used to do that at your age all the time. All right, next page. English is a word problem. Who knew? If mail plus box equals mailbox, does lipstick minus stick equal lip? That's pretty funny. Does tuna fish plus tuna fish equal forna fish? Phys ed, which is PE, is a sports problem. In 1919, Babe Ruth hit 29 home runs, batted .322 and made $40,000. In 1991, the average Major League Baseball player hit 15 home runs, batted .275, and made $840,000. It's a lot of money. Circle the correct answer. Babe Ruth is less than the average modern baseball player. Babe Ruth is greater than the average modern baseball player. Babe Ruth equals the average modern baseball player. If you said he's greater than, you were right. He's greater than. He was an excellent player. In art, we finally get to relax with the connect the dot picture. Here's my picture. Too bad it turns out to be a connect the ancient Mayan numerals picture. Math is everywhere. Math is just a total problem. Mrs. Fibonacci says there are many ways to count. She asks us to give some examples. Russell counts on his fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Molly says 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Mrs. Fibonacci says, I always count 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. But on the planet Tetra, kids have only 2 fingers on each hand. They count 1, 2, 3, 10. And on the planet Binary, kids have only 1 finger on each hand. They count 1, 10. What are the next 5 numbers in each sequence above? Do you think Mrs. Fibonacci has been to the planet Tetra? How would you bowl if you lived on the planet Binary with only 1 finger? Bi, right? Okay. Oh, yummy. This looks delicious. We are just about to go home when Rebecca remembers the special birthday cupcakes her mom made. Let's pretend these are our birthday, right, for Marin? Wouldn't that be nice? Virtual cupcakes. There are 24 kids in the class. Rebecca has 24 cupcakes. So what's the problem? Rebecca wants Mrs. Fibonacci to have a cupcake too. Everyone is going crazy trying to figure out what fraction of a cupcake each person will get. I'm the first to figure out the answer. I raise my hand and tell Mrs. Fibonacci I'm allergic to cupcakes. Everyone, 24, believes me and gets 1 cupcake. No one has to figure out fractions. I stagger out of school. There's another good word. Show me on your fingers what stagger might look like. Like, oh, exhausted. I kind of do that. Mrs. Harrison and I, by the end of the day, we kind of stagger, like slowly, kind of like you're falling over a little. I'm a math zombie now. I have to find something to break this math curse. I decide to try chocolate. My favorite candy bar is usually 50 cents. But guess what? Today it's on sale for 50% off. Okay, so if it's 50% off and it's 50 cents, 50 would be half off. If you know what half of 50 cents is, write it in the chat box.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, look at that. Charlie Carr. Woohoo.
I'm impressed. A lot of them.
Ellie, Sunny. You guys
Ryder,
are
Ellie.
Charlie, V, Lila. Woohoo, Matt.
Max.
Lyric. You were right. Half of 50. Think of 2 quarters, right? 25 and 25 is 50. 2 quarters, so it'd be 25 cents. But guess what? Oh, we already read that. Where A equals the number, here's a problem here. It looks very difficult for our age. Where A equals the number of letters in your first name, B equals your age, and C equals your shoe size, I decide to buy licorice instead. I pull out my money. I have a $5 bill, a $1 bill, a quarter, and a penny. George Washington is on both the quarter and the $1 bill. Abraham Lincoln is on both the penny and the $5 bill. So which is true? 1 Washington equals 25 Lincolns. 5 Washingtons equal 1 Lincoln. 1 Washington equals 100 Lincolns. 1 Lincoln equals 20 Washingtons. Don't forget to show your work. Extra credit. How do you think Thomas Jefferson feels about all of this? And here's a nice picture of the presidents. Okay, you can see this student is feeling a little crazy with this math curse. I am now a raving math lunatic. You can see it in the picture, can't you? What if this keeps up for a whole year? How many minutes of math madness would that be? What's your problem? Says my sister. 365 days times 24 hours times 60 minutes, I snarl. Dinner brings no relief. While passing the mashed potatoes, Mom says, what your father says is false. Dad helps himself to some potatoes and says, what your mother says is true. I think about that for a minute. If what Mom says is true, then what Dad says is false. But if what Dad says is false, then what Mom says isn't true. And if what Mom says isn't true, then what Dad says isn't false. But that can't be true because he says that what Mom says is true and she says that what he says is false. Can that be true? I think about that. Then I think about it some more. Then I think I'd better go to bed. I undo 8 buttons plus 2 shoelaces. I subtract 2 shoes. I multiply times 2 socks and divide by 3 pillows to get 5 sheep, remainder 1, which is all I need to count before I fall asleep. Then the problems really begin. This is during his sleep. I dream I'm trapped in a room with no doors and no windows. The room is covered with a lifetime of problems. I have only 1 piece of chalk. How do I get out? I'm about to give up and die when the answer to my problem comes to me. Fractions. I break the chalk in half. Then I put the 2 halves together. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. I put the whole on the wall. That's cute. And jump out. I'm free. I wake up Wednesday morning at 7:15. It takes me 10 minutes to get dressed, 15 minutes to eat my breakfast, and 1 minute to brush my teeth. My bus leaves at 8 o'clock. What time will I be ready? 7:41. No problem. I've broken the math curse. I can solve any problem, and life is just great until science class when Mr. Newton says, you know, you can think of almost everything as a science experiment. Dun, dun, dun. And I believe there must be a book called The Science Curse, and I just haven't read it. I will put that on my things to do list. So now what I'm going to have you do, and if you need to hear that story again, maybe you just want to, it will be on our Google Classroom assignment. When you go to your Google Classroom today, this is called the Math Curse. When you click on the Math Curse, you will see a Google form sign in. On that Google form, you'll have some questions, not many. The first thing I want you to do is read the directions. It says, explore your bedroom, living room, and kitchen to find things that can be turned into math problems. So here's the first question, what is your name? Then it is going to ask you to give an example of a math problem that you discovered while exploring your bedroom. Then you will see another one. Give an example of a math problem that you discovered while exploring your living room. And then give an example of a math problem that you discovered while exploring your kitchen. So I'm just going to do a quick example of that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. And then I just want to I'm going to pick up my computer. I hope I can unplug everything. And I'm going to show you at the classroom and show you some examples that I thought if I were exploring. Am I frozen? No, there I go. Okay.
You're okay.
So I'm walking around and I see, here I'm going to show you in the classroom. This is your classroom. I see the calendar, okay? I don't know if you can see that very well. It's our
I can.
September calendar. Maybe I should turn the lights on in here. And my first question that comes to me is, how many days are in the month of September? And then I wonder, out of those days, how many of those dates are odd numbers? How many of those dates are even numbers? So maybe that would be a question I write down for on my Google form if it were about my classroom. And then I come over here and I see all these book bins. And I don't know, I'm gonna hopefully see all those book bins. They're all different colors. That's where you guys are gonna keep your just right books, okay? I see those and I think to myself, how many book bins are there? How many blue book bins are there? How many green book bins are there? How many yellow? And are there more yellow than blue? So those are some examples, and I can show you on my paper. I wrote down these questions. I'll read them to you. That's what you'll do. You'll write them down in the Google form. I can try to share my screen one more time and see if I plugged back in and show you what my questions came up with. I'm not sure. Oh, it did work. Yay. So here's some of the questions I came up. It says questioning, but these are my math problems I came up with. How many colorful bins are there? Are there more blue or yellow bins? How many are there of each color? I could draw a graph, a bar graph showing the difference. That's what my mind is doing because I have the math curse. How many boys in class? Because I can see in my desks, boy names, girl names. How many girls? Are there more boys or girls? How many days in the month of September? That's the one I went over with you. How many days are an odd number? How many are even? What time is it? Because there's a clock right there. So that is what I want you guys to do. I want you to explore 3 rooms in your house. And I just picked your bedroom, living room, and kitchen because I thought that would be fun. And I want you to then fill out the Google form, come up with the math problem. It can be how many, it could be, are there more blank than blank? It could be odd, even. It could be what fraction. It's up to you. There's no wrong answer, but it should have to do with math. And hopefully I didn't give you the math curse, but you might have the math curse now. Sorry, guys. Question, writer? Go ahead and unmute.
I'm not in my house right now. I'm at my mom's school.
Okay, so do the room you're in.
Okay.
That's a,
Mrs. Auden, do you want to stop the recording?
unless you think these questions are valuable, should I? Let me see if there's any more questions.
Just for time period, for timeliness of the length of the video.
Okay.